The 3D component to ArcGIS is called ArcScene, and this allows you to render digital elevation models and other data in 3D. So what I'm going to do is add a digital elevation model and show you how to drape it and how to navigate the map. So I'm going to simply click my Add Data button and navigate to where I have my digital elevation model. And when it gets added to ArcScene, you're going to notice that it gets added on a perspective angle or an oblique angle. It's not like the direct overhead view that we're used to seeing with ArcGIS. So you also have different navigation tools than what you have in ArcGIS. You have this tool which just allows you to click and move your mouse to move the image. You have a fly tool which we'll use when we render it in 3D so that you can actually fly through the 3D landscape. And then you have your other tools that you're used to seeing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to create a painted relief map, but it's going to be one that's in 3D. So to get started with that, I'm going to double click on this to go to this layer properties. In layer properties, you're also going to know that the tabs are different than what they are in ArcGIS. We have a base heights tab and a rendering tab. I'm simply going to go to the display right now and just change it to an elevation color scheme. And then I'm going to go to my Arc toolbox to create a hill shade so that I can create that shaded relief map. And if you remember, we can get to our elevation tools in 3D or Spatial Analyst. I'm just going to do it in 3D Analyst. I double click the Hill Shade tool, and then I select the DEM as the input raster. And I'm just going to keep it at the default location, and I'm going to hit OK. And you're going to see the tool starting to run at the bottom. And when the tool is done running, it will add the hill shade to the map. Whenever this little globe is turning, it means that ArcMap is thinking, sometimes harder than other times. Now that it has finished running, you're going to notice that it gets added, and when we look at this, we can see at some places the hill shade and sometimes the DEM, and because they're basically interfering with each other because they're on the same plane and they're just kind of fighting for that top level. So what we're going to do to resolve that is if we go to the hill shade layer properties and go to our rendering tab, we can change the drawing priority of the features. And I'm going to just set this to a 4, and you're probably asking, well, why not 2 or 3? I've just noticed that sometimes that's not enough to make them not interfere, and I've found that 4 usually works pretty well. So I'm going to make that selection. So now you can just see the 1. And if you remember from earlier modules, we can make the DEM transparent or semi-transparent so that we can see both the hill shade and the DEM. So now we have a really pretty shaded relief map. So now what I want to do is I want to make that this is showing up in 3D. And because the digital elevation model, each pixel has an elevation value assigned to it, we can extrude the DEM based on that elevation value that's in that data set. So to do that, we simply go to our DEM data layer, go to the Base Heights tab, and we want to show the elevation from the DEM, so we select that, and then we hit OK. And you're going to notice that that pops up off of the other one because it's being extruded by that elevation value. And we have to do the same thing to the hillshade. We have to go to the Base Heights tab, select the custom surface, but we have to make sure that we pick the right thing. The DEM is the data set that has the elevation values in it, so we have to make sure we select that, not the hillshade. That's a common mistake that is made, is that you accidentally select the wrong data set. It's always the DEM here. And then we hit OK, and then it pops it up a bit more. And you can see here that they're kind of interfering with each other a little bit. So we're going to play around with the rendering again, just to see if we can, clean that up a bit. And it seems to be a little problematic, and this is a common problem. What I could do to fix this, and it's actually a very easy fix, and it's going to sound almost silly, but if I would save my ArcScene project and then close it and reopen it, everything would be just fine. So I'm going to give that a shot. So it might just take a couple extra seconds here. And lo and behold, saving it, closing it out, and reopening it makes it perfect. And that's just something to keep in mind for a lot of different things in ArcGIS, is if something keeps being problematic, sometimes just closing Arc clears up the problem. So now we have our 3D surface of this particular area in Lebanon County. And what we can do to make this look even more three-dimensional is we could exaggerate it. To exaggerate it, we just go to our scene layers, and we can change our vertical exaggeration. I'm going to click on Calculate from Extent and hit Apply, and you can see that exaggerates it a bit. Or you can put in one of the predefined exaggerations that they have. If you want to go a little wild, you can bump it up quite a bit, and you can see how that makes it really prominent in terms of the exaggeration. So just a fun little thing that's available to you with the ArcGIS trial. If when your trial expires, ArcScene is part of the 3D Analyst extension, so you would need 3D Analyst in order to leverage this particular part of the software program. So with that, I will show you one last quick thing, and that has to deal with animation. If we right-click up here in an empty space and turn on our animation toolbar, it's possible to create an animation of this area. I'm going to reduce this exaggeration a bit because it's a bit over the top. There we go. So let's say that you wanted to kind of do a fly-through of this whole DEM. What you can do is grab this capture view, take a picture where you want to capture the view. Every time that you change it, your scene, you can take a picture, and you can zoom in and zoom out. And then once you have those pictures taken, if you hit the play button, it will play that back to you. And this allows you to create animations of areas. Like if you wanted to kind of simulate walking down a trail, you could kind of do that thing. Or like if you're going down a highway and what you see on both sides, you can do that with this kind of thing. So there's a lot of options with this, but it's really easy to use the camera part of it. You can also use the bird to fly and do the recording. I'm not the best at the flying. I found that gamers are really good with that. So if you're into video games, you're probably going to be awesome with this fly tool. But to fly, you just kind of click on it and then just click your mouse, and anytime that you want to move in closer, just click, and if you want it to go faster, you just double click, If you want it to stop, hit escape, and then you can kind of back out and so forth. So you can record your screen with that as well. You would just hit the record button here to do that. So those are two different ways of doing animations. But the big thing I want you to get out of this is the fact that you can drape imagery in ArcScene. I'm using a digital elevation model and doing that, but you can also do aerial photography. As long as you have the DEM is what you're going to need, because that's the starting point for terrain analysis. So as long as you have a DEM, you can be doing lots of really cool, fun things with this product.